Hi there guys, this is Chris from The Humble Pepper, and today I'm going to be delivering you a short session really on growing crops out of season wherever you are. Okay, so let's look at the factors which deal with plant growth out of season. Okay, so I hope you can see this on the video. Number one, it will be light. So, light is extremely important to plant growth. Without enough light, you won't be able to grow out of season. And if you live further north in the northern hemisphere, like the UK, like Canada, some of northern USA, you will notice that as winter sets in, you basically stop being able to produce summer crops because it's the light levels really that stop it. So, if you want to grow out of season, you're really going to need light. And since we don't have any natural stuff in the winter, artificial lighting is absolutely necessary. Number two, see if you can see that. Yep. Number two will be heat. These are all basic. There we go. These are all basic things, elements that you might have heard of when you were still at school. But heat is another one which you need to factor in without the right amount of heat, without the right heat. If it's too high, the plants will start to wilt. If it goes on for too long, you might have problems with the blossom, like blossom drop. Then you might have problems with fungal things going on. If it gets too cold, you know what happens? The plant dies, and once the plant dies, don't get any fruit, do you? So number two, during the winter, heat. Okay. Number three, you will need to make sure the plants have adequate water. Yep, water. Water is really, really important during the winter. You might not think of it because rain outside, snow, ice is even made of water. But if that ice or that water doesn't actually get to the plant's roots because it isn't available to the plant, your plants will die. So, making sure that the plant has enough water is another factor for growing out of season. Okay. So those three elements are really important to growing out of season. Perhaps, maybe not as important in some ways as this number four, because number four is nutrients. Hope everybody doesn't mind my dodgy handwriting. Right, nutrients. Right. Nutrients. A plant will need an adequate supply of bioavailable nutrients. Now, this can be a synthetic form, but that's not very good for you, and it's not very good or sustainable for the plant. And the best way that I have come across personally is rock dust fertilizer. Now, rock dust fertilizer on its own is not very good. You can't just throw it on your soil and, you know, hey ho, magic. It will improve your crop yields straight away, but microbes and soil biota meaning the worms, the beetles, everything within the soil needs to digest all of those rock dust particles and put it in a form which your plant roots will actually accept. So nutrients are number 4. Okay, so number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, light, heat, water, nutrients are everything that your plant is going to need to grow out of season. Now, from my personal viewpoint, okay, looking back through gardening history, your best bet to grow out of season is obviously within a climate controlled area, a greenhouse. Okay, and that greenhouse is definitely going to need more lighting, especially if you live, the UK, Northern Europe, that kind of area. Even Central Europe during the winter is not, you're not going to be growing tomatoes, are you? Okay, lights will help you do that all year round. Plants won't know any different if you give them enough of these 4. Okay? Now, the other thing that I would suggest that you do on top of all of these are obviously is to produce things that are seasonal vegetables. So if you don't have the cash to splash, then obviously grow seasonally. Brassicas are very hard in the winter, hardy. So things like cauliflower, broccoli, leeks, even I think even spinach will grow within a sheltered area in the cold. Let's think what else. There are a lot of things which you can store, to eat throughout the winter. Make sure that you get most from the season where you grow. So if you're growing in the UK, maybe if you're further down south, you might be able to grow, olives and grapes and all of that kind of stuff. But further north, you might have a bit of trouble doing that. Even though, who knows, those things might grow there. But really, concentrate on these 4 and you won't go wrong. Okay guys, I hope that was useful to people out there. I hope that I've managed to teach you at least something about growing out of season. Obviously, January time now, 2013, and this is the time where you should be preparing your soil for growing, for this growing season coming up. I'm not sure what the weather's going to do yet this year. No one does, I guess. But obviously, if you're in the UK, Northern Europe, then obviously look towards maybe, wet conditions. Find varieties of vegetables and things that grow well in those conditions. Protect yourself against mildews and that kind of thing. There are a number of natural pesticide, fungicide, herbicide alternatives which work just as well as the synthetic ones. Use those first. If they don't work, use the other synthetics, So, this has been Chris for the Humble Pepper. Thank you guys, and have a great day out there.